Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Danielle and I'm from Aries Readings. So today's pick a card is another mini card reading. We're looking at just one of the many things you've come here to teach. So I really want to make sure you're hearing me on this one. There's more than one thing we've all come here to learn and to teach others. This is just a mini readings. We're just looking at one quick thing and why it's important. So that being said, you have three piles to choose from. Pile 1 is this orange seashell. Pile 2 is this green snail shell. And lastly, pile 3, you have this pink seashell option. We also have Millie in the background. So if you've never done a pick a card reading before, I'll give you a quick explanation on how to do it right now. So the best thing to do is just take a couple of deep breaths so that you get grounded and rooted and centered in yourself. This helps you let go of the day you've had or the thought cycle that you might have been stuck in. So it's best if you're able to close your eyes, or if you're in a safe situation to do that, to close your eyes, take a deep breath in, down through the nose, all the way to the lower diaphragm, and exhaling out the mouth. And as you breathe in, see if you can drop your awareness to your body. So that might look like bringing your awareness to wherever the breath is going. So dropping down through the heart, all the way to the lower diaphragm, out through the mouth. Just taking a few of these breaths until you feel like you're more centered, or you've calmed a bit, or you've just connected a little bit more with the body and a little less with the mind. So when you are feeling a little more connected, you can then ask yourself the question, is there a message for me in one of these piles? And then you can open your eyes, take a glance at them all, and it can be a color, a shape, an image, or a number that stands out to you that might lead you to choosing that pile. You might just have a sense or a knowing that you should choose a certain pile. And if you do like numbers, you can look at the description box below. Beside each pile, there'll be a timestamp, and the numbers there might mean something to you. There's no real wrong or right way to choose a pile. It's very intuitive. And then when you get into the reading, if it doesn't really resonate or make any sense to you, then that might be a sign that you need to choose another pile, or you should probably consider choosing another pile. Don't ever take any information above your own intuition, and don't ever try to make anything fit that doesn't really fit. So this is all really up to you, getting connected to your intuition, to your guidance within yourself, so that you know which messages are actually for you. So that being said, I'm going to leave this here, and I'll give you some time to choose your pile. And if you're called to one, I'll see you in that pile reading. Hello, pile 1. So you chose the orange seashell. I'm just going to put it over here. And what you got for one of the many reasons, or the many things you teach people, we have Enlightenment, Forest, Temple. So what I'm really drawn to in this card right away is the fact that this person's heart chakra is on and activated, which I find really, really cool. So let's put this card down. And then we also have, for clarifying cards on why it's important, we have Joy, Hummingbird, and Beauty, which is Wood Nymph. And I also chose a couple of they're sort of like affirmation cards. So it says dispelling sadness and allowing appreciation, which I really love. And they say, I will feel better once I get the rest I need, and the value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it, which is cool. Okay, so let's put those there. So I actually really love the way these cards flow together. So Enlightenment, when I see this card, I feel like one of the things that you're teaching people is how to really come back to them, to their heart, to their soul. I know that can sound kind of corny, so bear with me here, but I feel like ultimately you're one of these people in the world who, when people kind of get stuck in a rut, or when people are feeling, like I think even says here, like sadness, despair, like I want to say stuck. I think you're someone who really helps people who feel stuck reconnect to their soul, to their heart, to like legitimately the joy and beauty that they have around them, that they feel in their day-to-day life. So when I see enlightenment, I actually feel like you're someone who teaches people how to start seeing the beauty of what's in the situation, of what's happening around them, instead of only seeing the stuckness they're in. So that actually in itself is super powerful. I feel like that's something everyone needs a reminder of in this day and age. And even with the words here of like appreciation, like I think you really get people to start shifting their subconscious mind from going from what do I not like about my life? What am I dreading in the day? To what am I grateful for? What is actually going well? What is actually going right? What am I happy for or about in my day-to-day? Sorry, you can't see this, but my cat Charlie is like just a little bit in front of my other cat who's just slightly out of frame. And they are looking like they might attack each other. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. Anyways, so Charlie, we had Woodnet's beauty. Yes. So I really do feel like what you're teaching people is essentially how to come back to the light, like the light of the situation, the light of life. Why are they happy to be here? Why is it like a not a privilege so much as why is it a pleasure to have the human life and the human experience? And you really just get people coming back to that, coming back to what I want to quite literally say lights them up and makes life seem beautiful to them again. So this is not something that is small. As you can imagine, what I already see with this dispelling sadness and allowing appreciation is it really helps people go from a pretty dim place is the word I'm going to use, like feeling like their day-to-day might feel a little bit is the word monotonous? I can't quite say it. But just like kind of dreading the day to day, like wishing, waiting for something better to happen, but the weekend comes and they're not any like more satisfied with their life. And then the week happens and they're still not any more satisfied. So it's almost like you help people get out of that rut. And just like it says, like the value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. Like these cards are just so clear. It's like you help people feel better when they start to shift that focus, start to see that it's almost like I want to say when you help people intentionally create the new habit of seeing the good in their day, of seeing the things that are happy in the day, the gifts of the day. Um, yeah, and just increase the value and the quality of their life and the value and the quality of their day. Like, and I really, it's interesting. It keeps going through that you have such an impact on their day to day. So I think these are just very practical, small things that you teach people to start appreciating more. So I would imagine this pile, if you chose it, you're someone who just really does enjoy and is really grateful for quite a few things. Or you might not realize it, but you verbalize it a lot. And I think that just even brings this new perspective to others. So, Forest Temple Enlightenment, you really do enlighten people to the good around them, to what they love about life, what they love about this place here on Earth. Okay, that's all I have for you, Pile Ones. All right, if you like these mini readings, feel free to leave me a comment letting me know. I appreciate the feedback, and otherwise, I hope you have a good one. If you ever want to see more readings, there is extra YouTube members only videos that you have the ability to access if you like. Yeah, otherwise, thanks for watching, and maybe we'll catch you in another pin card reading. Hello, Pile Twos. You chose this green snail shell. I'll put it over here in the corner next to the other one. So one of the many things that you teach others in the world, we have focus. Focus. This is really interesting because I actually can't help but wonder if this is a little bit about connecting intuition and taking action. So you might teach people on how to even take inspired action in their life, maybe how to not be so avoidant or procrastination. This is kind of a random one, but you know what? I feel like in this day and age, we all need some motivation to not be so procrastinating in our lives. I'm not sure if I use that verb properly. To procrastinate less in our lives. There we go. So otherwise we have truth and trust. Ooh, very interesting. I keep getting drawn to the fact that of the purple light over here and then the purple crystal. So I do keep getting that you teach people how to work with their intuition and connect to their crown chakra more. Yeah, like I really feel like you teach people how to trust that intuition and go in the direction they're being told to go. So untangling neglect and exploring unity consciousness. I love this because I honestly keep getting that. Like you really teach people, and whether this is through inspiration or helping people get practical tools, you might literally be in a job field that helps get people organized so that they stop procrastinating or avoiding tasks that need to get done. Ultimately, I feel like this comes with like you really help people stop being so stressed out for a prolonged time, because I feel like essentially get people out of like that mental body of like, what if I don't say the right thing? What if I don't say like perfectionism, that's what I'm getting. I think you help people move away from having to do everything perfectly and get more into a place of just following their intuition, saying what they feel needs to be said, and trusting that if they take action, the things that were meant for them will work out, and things that won't, they weren't going to, no matter how perfectly they worded something. So I really actually feel like you work a lot with teaching people to not overanalyze, overstress, or try to over control and come out perfectly, not to have to be perfect. There we go. Really interesting. It says, I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire, and I am one internal light appearing as all. Yeah, so definitely there's something here about you teaching people to trust that the things that come their way will. So that's super cool. And then the truth, I keep being drawn to the fact that I think you help people decipher between what is their fear saying versus what their intuition is saying. This is super cool. And once again, a very needed thing in the world. So I think through all this, like you actually end up teaching people how to be more focused and get more action taken in their life. You might be a coach or something. I keep wondering, I keep trying to identify your job because I feel like this is very job related and I think you're quite good at it. Yeah, it's super cool. Ultimately, I feel like why this is so important is just because it really does help people with the level of stress and self-doubt. And there's even a little bit of like you help people like get more grounded in themselves and trust themselves more and not feel like everything they do outside of themselves equates to their value. So although this is just like one thing that you're teaching people, there's so much there that people are really learning about themselves. Like their value isn't equal to what they do. Their value isn't how much like positive feedback they're getting. Like I really feel like you help people really work on their confidence and self-esteem. Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. I think this is so needed. So thank you for doing this, Pile Twos. You're teaching the world a lot of what they're needing. And also with the Wizard of the Woods, I keep wondering if you help people come out of hiding. Because also Crystal Cave, I don't know. Like I think you might find people who are actually quite good at what they're doing, but they might be lacking that self-esteem or self-confidence to feel like it can be shared with the world or for them to bring it to the world. So I just really feel like you help a lot of people build up their stability in themselves, their belief in themselves, that you kind of help more people become heard of or even put themselves out there. So that's really cool. All right. That was super quick. It was super direct, but that's actually all I have for you, Pile Twos, in this mini reading. If you like this style, please feel free to leave a comment as I appreciate the feedback. And otherwise, maybe I'll catch you in the pick a card reading sometime. Have a great one. Hello, pile threes. You chose the pink seashell. I'm going to put it over here. You can't see it because Charlie's head is in the way. Your thing, what you do for the world. We have prosperity, be spirit. Ooh, well, I already feel like this, like one of the things you teach the world is how to connect, how to reconnect with others. And when they feel connected, feel like their lives have, I want to say more purpose or more meaning, but I want to be clear here, as you probably know, like what someone does doesn't give them their value in the world, but it just helps them feel like they're contributing to a whole, like they have a purpose. So I really find that interesting. So you like, so anyways, what I'm saying here is like you teach people how to connect or the value of connecting with others. So we have growth and we have acceptance. Ooh. And just for other clarifying cards about why this is important, we have embracing worthiness and awakening inspired action. So on the back, they say, I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body and it feels amazing. And there is only what life is asking of me. So this is even like really just reinforcing what I was saying with this beer spirit. Bee spirit is I think you find a lot of people who are feeling like, forgive the like poor puns here, but you know, like these are like death mushrooms. People are feeling kind of dead in their life. And what I mean by that is they're just feeling very isolated. I actually keep thinking of like Pirates of the Caribbean back in the day when that was a popular movie. And there's that, is it like the second one where the sea people slowly become one with the ship and they like rot away? And I feel like you help people come out of that, like come out of being a hermit, come out of like the you know, like just getting up every day, going to work, not interacting with anyone, maybe going right home and kind of hiding in their space and really just feeling like a little bit purposeless. Like, you know, as humans, we all need to feel a little bit connected. Otherwise, we usually kind of just forget. We forget like why we love this life, why we want to be part of this life. Like, it's just something that can just sort of happen. And I think there is a lot of studies on this. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's heard this. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably heard this too. Like, connection is so important. And especially if you're someone who teaches that, it might be because you have also experienced a time in your life where it felt very isolated and very alone. And then maybe you found through community and connection that was everything. That was everything for you to really feel fulfilled. I also wouldn't be surprised if this pile teaches people the value of connection over money. And I'm not saying that money is bad or anything, but I just also got a little bit of a message that some people who are choosing this might be people who also were like successful early and were like, I still am not happy. I'm still yearning for something. And I feel like that's even where like the acceptance comes in, like accepting yourself and accepting that, like I keep getting this lone wolf analogy that like community is actually something that helps us feel valued and worthy. Once again, it doesn't come back to the fact that people don't have value outside of community. It's just that when people like ask for help or when people appreciate and value our skill set, it makes us feel good. And I feel like that's what you keep teaching. I feel like I keep trying to be cautious with my wording here because I don't want someone to hear this and be like, we're valueless without society, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that realizing that humans really do like connection and we really feel like it hits us, right? Like with that, like feeling appreciated, being of service to others, like all the love languages kind of come through in like when we're in community and we're appreciated and we're loved and we're cared for and we can receive back from others the things we can't do on our own. Just really feel like you teach people community and support and the beauty of it, and even the beauty of being able to trust others to support you back. I do think there's a little bit of that teaching that happens. And I also feel like, because the other thing I keep getting with this like acceptance card is I think you might come across a lot of people in life who have struggled to feel like they fit in or like society will accept them. And I think you teach people in your own way how to radically accept themselves so that they can see that they are worthy of being a part of a community, of being supported by others, of being loved by others, and not having to be on their own. I keep getting that acceptance, radical self-acceptance, which I do think takes a lot of growth, to be able to do. So in your own way, you do teach people that. It also says there's only what life is asking of me. So awakened and inspired action. So I do feel like this awakens like a bit of purpose as well. I keep getting that word for this pile. You teach people to awaken back to their purpose, which is very interesting. You don't quite get that in when you look at prosperity and like being in community, being so purposeful and valuable to us as humans, that you wouldn't necessarily think of that. But I really think this is quite a layered thing that you teach people. And I feel like if we were doing a longer reading, we would really get a lot of different branches of how in this one card you're teaching so much. But as this is just a mini reading, as a little pick-me-up for you about what you're doing in this world that is so amazing, we're only going to stick with this sort of quick outline of it. So anyways, I really do feel like you help people kind of come from a place of feeling isolated, excluded, outcasted, and come to a place of realizing that when they accept themselves, like everyone already accepts them, or something like that. Anyways, you do some cool work, whoever you are. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thanks so much for watching. If you like these mini short card readings, feel free to leave a comment, giving me some feedback. Otherwise, I will hopefully see you in another pick a card reading or a longer form card reading. And I hope you have a great day, night, or evening, whatever it is for you.